Oh, it is so good to see you.
Likewise. I
Yeah.
mean, I feel like we've been, the universe has been pulling us together. And I
Oh,
like that. I'm not mad about it.
yeah, it's so cool. Like just the synchronicities that are happening are wild. It's amazing.
I love how the universe works. I love how energy works. It's amazing.
I do too. I do too. For the longest time, like I didn't really believe in it, or like I didn't like fully understand, especially like the energy side of things. But the more that I've learned and have just embraced and kind of accepted the flow of it and have taken off the reins, like it it's just incredible how everything falls into pieces and how it is so true of just how the energy does flow. It's amazing.
Yeah. And I feel like it's an evolution. It's one of those things, right? Like as time goes by and you hear things and then you start to see how they apply to your life and then you start to believe in things or you're open to more things and then you attract more and then you're like, "Oh my gosh, there's a whole like just a flood of this stuff coming in. It's real. It's real." And then you realize um, how actually in control you are, or how the control doesn't really fucking matter. Just
Mm.
go with it. Just go on the journey.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah, totally. Oh my gosh. I thank you for this time. Thank you for just connecting with me and for taking some time to talk. I'm just so
yeah.
grateful for you.
Thank you, thank you. I'm so glad that we're making the time to do this. We did get the chance to meet in person a few weeks, months ago now. I have no concept of time. Was it? I hope it wasn't a year ago.
Yeah, yeah, it was back in July. It was like toward the end of July, right before right when Beyonce was putting up
Yes.
the Cowboy Carter show.
Yeah. And then we get to meet again next year at a workshop, at a retreat that we're both going to be part of.
Yes, 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 yes. I when I heard that you were also facilitating there, got so excited, like just because
Same.
I love and adore you, and just to spend that time together, but also to like just to interact with you in that setting, I think is going to be really special.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so looking forward to that. So
Yeah.
looking forward to it.
Yeah. And you recently did another retreat as well, right?
I was in Glastonbury in the UK doing a Tantra retreat, Tantra for gay men. And that was a lot of fun. It was very challenging, but also a lot of fun.
Mm.
It was one of those things where I had to like adjust all the way through it, reevaluate, just like rethink my expectations and be like, okay,
Mm.
okay, how do I get through this? How do I give the most that I can? And then I couldn't think about what I was getting until the plane ride home. I was like, okay, what did you get out of this trip?
Mm.
And even the first time I asked myself that question, I was like, I don't know, just shut up, just shut up. And then like when I wasn't even thinking about it, then all of the feelings started to rush in at me, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. I imagine that it was like an overwhelming experience, like in a not in a negative way, but just in a way that like a lot to take in.
Yeah, it was definitely that. But I've done a few of these, and I'm always nervous about them. But that's just that's just I think reality. That's just new human nature.
Mm.
Um, but I also I found that we do this for other people. We do this for their betterments, their enlightenment, or their pleasure. Just we do this for them. But what we get back as facilitators is at first was completely unexpected,
Mm.
but it's kind of amazing. It's kind of amazing, and I'm really I've just been really surprised and overwhelmed and overjoyed by all that's come back at me from these experiences where I went and I was like, well, I'm doing this for you, but oh my God, I just got so much back, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, yeah. It's incredible like how much of a mirror we are all for each other, even in like a facilitator role where like as we're navigating, supporting people through their own experience, they're just naturally reflecting it back to us that, we're still holding that facilitator role, but we're
Yeah.
still humans as well, that behind the scenes, like the personal side of us is kind of kicking in and we're
Yes.
to absorb, something from that also. Can I
Yeah.
ask what some of your workshops were, like what you were facilitating?
Oh gosh. Okay, so I kind of forgot. My workshops always are focused, generally are focused on um, exploration, empowerment, touch, presence, being mindful. There's always breath work involved. There's some breathing exercises. There's affirmations. And there's a lot I just encourage people to really surrender to the moment and just receive whatever it is that they're meant to receive. Come without expectation. Come, go through the journey, go through the steps, and just let whatever happens, let it happen with consent, of course. Obviously, I mean, if there's something starting to happen that you didn't want, you can simply say, "Not right now, thank you." But I do encourage people to just let go of their expectation and be present and just enjoy what's happening. Yeah.
Being able to be like so mindful and attuned to like your own body, your own experiences, like at that point in time, and having the invitation, the permission to explore that.
And often that's all it is. People need an invitation and the permission, a safe space, just a couple of little ground rules, and then they run with it. And you're like, wow, this is amazing. I'm so glad that you made yourself available for this, because I know sometimes it's silly, sometimes it's awkward, sometimes it's uncomfortable. But I mean, the payoff can be amazing if you just let yourself do it, just go with it.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I like even for me, like being asked to like facilitate as part of this upcoming retreat in May, um, I I'm so thrilled on like a number of levels.
Yeah.
And I'm also curious just myself because it's tapping into a bit of a different space of work than I have been doing so far. Because like even with my retreats and my workshops and my coaching work, like it's always clothes on and like no physical touch, like uh no like sexual energy there. It's very much like mental work. And so I'm curious just as to expanding on that in more of a physically embodied way.
Mm.
And like I'm just even noticing for myself of like the excitement that's there, but the nerves of like, yeah, what does this look like? Like, um, and it's also really great opportunity to role play out like and to practice like boundary setting and saying no or saying yes, and checking in with your own self on like what do I want at this time, like it's just such great practice ground for so many things.
I agree. I'm so looking forward to it. I think we're going to have a great time. Planning it and organizing it so far is going really well. The little piece that I have, like, my bio, my photos, and working on the description of my workshops and developing them, because I like to try and create new ones for every workshop that I do or every retreat that I do, every event. But they're always like, no, 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 we want the one you did over this place. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll do it. But I need to tweak it. I need to like change something about it, to just develop it in some way. Because I'm not the same person I was when I created that a couple of years ago. So now I wanted to reflect where I am and, try and touch people wherever it is they are.
Yeah. What have you found within yourself that has grown or evolved over those past couple of years?
Less, this is funny because it's a constant struggle for me, but I've also seen progress with this. It's the being completely in the moment and free and feeling confident and just allowing myself to be in that moment. It's the same thing that I preach to everybody else. And oftentimes when I'm, doing my affirmations and listening to my deep, breathy voice in the microphone, I'm like, oh shit, bitch, I need to hear that.
Mm.
Like that's for me.
Yeah. Mhm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so it's just been learning to trust myself,
Mm.
learning to appreciate myself, and being free in the moment. You know, it,
Yeah.
it, it's those are the things that are very important to me in this work, and I've definitely seen progress over the years, but it's still the front and center. So keep going, keep going.
Mhm. Yeah. 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 It's so rewarding to see for our own self of how far that we have grown and have come. And it's exciting to see like, well, like what's next too? Like what's also still yet to be revealed, or what's that next thing that I get to learn about myself? Like
Right.
for someone who uh this isn't isn't intending to be like a sales pitch by any means, but like the more that I've been talking about it, I was like, I could see how this can kind of sound salesy, but no, like I think it could be really good for somebody who is like interested to learn like what can they expect kind of nuts and bolts from like one of these sessions. Like what would that if somebody's going into it having no idea of what to expect, what should they be open to exploring, I guess.
I think that's hard to say because I feel like everyone comes from a different place, a different background, different experiences, and it brings them here or wherever. And each of us has to figure out what it is. We might be in the same space, but it impacts you differently than it impacts me, and it impacts that person, then it impacts that person. And for this person, it may bring up their trauma. For that person, it may make them feel empowered, and there may be some euphoria. So it's really like it runs a gamut of all of what we are and what we've been through and what we come with. And so it's hard to say this is what you should expect and this is what's going to happen when you leave. You kind of just have to trust yourself and allow yourself to be in the moments. We're definitely going to slow down. We're definitely going to go inward. We're definitely going to listen to energy in addition to words. It's and how what you get from that is what you get from that. It's going to be different. I don't know if there's ever two people who are going to have the same results. It's just kind of like you said, creating this moment, creating this space, and allowing it to be what it's going to be.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what I think is like just it's almost indescribable where
Yeah,
like you just have to experience it feel to feel the gravity of it.
mhm.
Um, I was at a workshop over the summer and we did a lot of energy work there too. And just in that group space, I think there was like 8 or 9 of us, and everyone had a different experience, even though we are talking about the exact same thing. And like some people were um uh releasing things they've been holding on to, emotions they've been holding on to for decades. And like there are people who were absolutely like just bawling and kind of gut-wrenching cries. Then there are people who were laughing because they were releasing a lot of gratitude, a lot of joy. They were it brought up a lot of positive things. But it was all centered on the same topic and the same discussion points. It's just so neat to see that, and like you don't even need to do anything. Like you just need to be. And like
Yeah,
that's the biggest part of it is like just show up and show up open and just notice what comes up there.
yeah. Come as you are. Just
Yeah.
come as you are. That's it. That's all you got to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited. It's gonna be so good. I didn't intend to like to jump right in, but I love it. I love when we do. This is so so good.
It
So
just felt natural. I was like, this is what we would talk about whether we were recording this or not. So let's just go.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's why like I love yeah, and I just like love these conversations because it is just so good and natural and just like good people like yourself that I'm just so grateful to spend time with. For somebody who might be and is listening, if they're learning you for the first time, this is the most annoying question, but like how would you introduce yourself to them?
Hi, I am Dylan Diaz. I have, I'm on a journey. Some of you may know me from my adult entertainment work. I've been working as a porn star. I don't like to use the word star on myself, but other people use it, and sometimes it's just easier to say star. But I don't think of myself as a star. Long story short, um, I have been working in adult entertainment, and being able to do that has just been a roller coaster ride. It took me from a place of being very shy, very introverted, and it's not that I'm not those things anymore. I am, but I can also be very bold, very like just an exhibitionist. I don't mind an audience now, and having this opportunity to explore sexuality and people and energy, in a safe space with a crew of people around me has really allowed me to dig deeper into myself and figure out who I am and what I like and like really explore that, really examine that, not just say, okay, I'm a gay man. I'm attracted to men, so I'm gay, which is what I have always identified as. But having the opportunity to experience other kinds of bodies, people who identify as other things, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm still gay, but I'm not rigidly gay. Like that person, I enjoy the sensations that that type of body presents. I enjoy, the experiences, the people, the sensations, the chemistry, or all of that stuff. So I am bringing it back to I'm just on a journey right now, and I'm trying to get as much out of it as I can.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah. What a gift to give to yourself and to role model that for other people as well. You know, for them to see that sex and sexuality are so much more expansive than we
Mm.
likely think they are. And when we can allow ourselves to step into any spaces with curiosity and openness, we might really surprise the hell out of ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have seen things happen, for me and for other people that were completely unexpected. When they walked through the door, they didn't expect to be in that situation doing what they were doing, meeting the person that they were meeting, having the kind of conversation they were having. But it's kind of beautiful to watch. In designing workshops, like I've learned I could be very detailed about what I want to present, and but you never know what it's going to bring up for people and how it's going to impact them. I think it's also important to just be also willing to let it go completely off the rails
Mm.
and see what happens. Come in with some framework, but also be flexible enough to let that just morph
Mm.
into whatever it needs to morph into in that moment.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 100%. I do that all the time with like with group sessions where yeah, I'll have this like plan of okay, we're going to go here and then 2 minutes in we go this way and we just run with it. Yeah,
Right.
but you found something similar in porn settings as well, it sounds like.
For me, yeah. I like I said, I'd always been very introverted and shy and a homebody and quiet. And the idea of doing what I do for a living now felt completely unrealistic, impossible. It was not me. But I just said, all right, I'll try it. I'll give it a chance. And the first step was go-go dancing. I was like, I'm not a nightlife person. I don't like crowds. I don't I drink. I don't like being out late. But put me on a go-go box and all that's out the door. I'm having the time of my life. I get the best cardio. It's amazing. So it's that was like, okay, I learned something new about myself just by being willing to do it, even though it went against my better judgment. I did it and it worked. And so that made me, question some other things. When the opportunity to work in video was presented, I was like, okay, I don't think that was never part of my plan. I don't think I want to do that. I tried it and I was like, okay, sign me up for the next one. Where else? Who else can I do? Like, what's next? um, but it's you start to learn and tune into the aspects of it that you like or that you relate to or that resonate with you. And for me, it was making that connection, finding that something. I wanted to create as authentic an experience as possible, authentic moments, as authentic as they could possibly be, allow myself to really be in the moment. And what was the question? Because I'm lost. I
No,
started
you're
going
totally
someplace
good.
else.
No, I love it. I love it. I forgot what I asked. No, I love this. I am just so zoned in.
I'm lost. Oh well. Well, that's okay.
Uh, yeah, yeah, this is just amazing. I was like so just locked in on your story. And then like what I was thinking like as you were saying that is like the openness that you have had to explore and also like the courage that it takes to do that. Like it sounds like I imagine at first like stepping into go-go dancing like required a lot of courage to make that step. um how and then stepping into video was another layer of that. Like where did that come from? Where did the courage to explore despite living in a sex negative society and judgments from other people, how did you muster that?
Okay, so it's a couple of layers. First, well, not maybe not first, but in not in any specific order, not in a specific order, the necessity to make an income and the desire to not to just the desire to do it in a non-conventional way. I didn't want a 9 to 5. I didn't want to have to wear a shirt and tie anymore. Um, I've I'm someone who I'm a career changer. I kind of just go where my heart wants me to go. I worked in finance and accounting, and that wasn't a passion, that was an income. And then after that, I was like, okay, no, I need to do something that fulfills me because I don't enjoy this. Um, I got into personal training. That was great for a while. Hair and makeup. I did that for a while, and it was amazing. I got to travel the world um, doing hair and makeup, and it was amazing. I got to meet some amazing people, and it was, again, every day was different. Every environment was different. It was what I wanted. It's just something different. And then again, it was just it was time. It was life brought me in that direction. Like I managed to get myself into really good shape. And I was like, okay, you're supposed to use what you got. So I was like, I got this, I got a 6 pack. What can I do with this? What can I make this? What can I do? And I was like, all right, I'm not quite a fashion model, but maybe I can do this other kind of modeling. Maybe I can use some of my body or my characteristics um, in adult work. And I would take small leaps, just small leaps. And then each one led to a bigger leap. You know, I felt incredibly liberated and empowered being this shy person to be able to step out in front of all these people mostly naked, like 95% naked, felt like empowerment to me. I felt that made me feel really strong. And that carried over into, so many other things. Now I can be seen in front of you, but I could also talk to you. And we
Mm.
can have a conversation. I'm not so afraid anymore. I can talk to a stranger if I feel like it. I don't always feel like it. Now I'm also at a point where I do enjoy my solitude and my quiet time.
Mm.
So I'm not always out there. I feel like now there's a time and a place for me to be an exhibitionist, and there's a time and a place for me to just be me, just quiet, old, wallflower, sipping on my matcha latte.
Yeah, yeah, like there is such a liberation that comes with this line of work where like once once we step into it, like there's no turning back, but like in a really exciting way where it's like I literally can't show you anything more. And so that means like I don't have to hide anything either, you
Yeah,
know. And so like that's something I've found for myself too. And like one of the reasons like I started like creating content as well was like um just to take that ownership back over my own story where I had some just like some rough sexual experiences just like different like traumas along the way, but being able to be like okay like no I get to stake that claim over my own body and it's kind of like taking away the punchline where um like once we step into it it's like okay now there's nothing that you can hurt me with because like
right.
we've owned it. um wow wow
That's
wow.
an amazing place to be in, isn't it? To be that free. It's
Mm.
it's liberating,
Mhm.
to step into yourself like that and to realize that, so many of us are having the same feelings of insecurity, are wishing that we could do certain things. We just do it.
Mhm.
Everybody feels that way.
Mhm.
Everybody's nervous. Everybody's insecure about it. Everybody feels weird about what they look like. It's even the most amazing people, people you look at, you're like, wow, you're fucking gorgeous. Even that person is insecure about their body.
Mhm.
And when you realize that everybody's feeling the same way, somehow it kind of takes the feeling away and you're like, oh, okay, fine then. Fine, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, you're
Mhm.
good. I'm good. We're good.
Yeah, totally. Like it almost becomes something that's like kind of silly at some point. Like where it's like it's silly that okay, not to dismiss, how valid and real some of these feelings are, of
Sure.
like, especially when it comes to our body and the way that we feel about it. But as we work through that and as we like kind of arrive on the other side of exactly what you're saying, of like, oh yeah, like everybody's insecure. We're all so afraid and apprehensive and judgmental toward our own body. But like once we see that it's a universal experience, then it is kind of like, isn't it kind of like silly that this is what we're feeling? It's like we can just universally let it go by owning the hell of it. It's like, yeah, you know,
Mhm.
I have marks on my body, or it looks like this, or this is what my skin looks like, and okay,
Yeah.
so you know,
Yeah. I'd like to think that I've learned that sexiness is not a look. It's not a size. It's not um it's a feeling.
Mhm.
It's how you see yourself and how you move through the world. And it's amazing when you see people who you might not think of, or the world might not think of as traditionally good looking, but they carry themselves like they know they're good looking, and you're like, hell yeah. Hell yeah, you are fucking good looking. And I want that energy. How do I create that for myself? You know, it's a beautiful thing. It's like those people are like moving up the spiritual ladder and they've reached a certain enlightenment that we all strive for.
They're literally ascending. Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. My therapist always says that like everything of or 90% of life is just energy. Whether it's sex, whether it's relationships, whether it's uh finances, like no matter what, like it's all just about the energy behind it. And kind of like what we were talking about at the beginning, like the more that I play around with that, I'm like, hell yeah, that's actually super accurate. And yeah, sex is the same way, where it's like when we can just own the hell out of it, whatever it is, whether it's our body or what we're attracted to, what we're into, what turns us on, like when we can just be like, yeah, this is who I am, like, oh, that's mm, so tangible.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, yeah. As if you're comfortable answering this question, this one's kind of deep. But as you have explored throughout your adult career, like have there been times of shame, like where shame has kicked in? And like if so, like how have you navigated through that?
That's a good one. I'm gonna grab a bottle of water. Hold on one second.
Yeah, totally.
I'm back.
Wow,
Um, it
crazy
was
fast.
just right there. I forgot to. I meant to put it like next to me, and it was just out of my reach. Um, okay, so when I first started working in porn, I didn't feel any negative feeling, any shame, any discomfort. Surprisingly, I was like, yeah, this is amazing. This is all good. This is all positive. I'm so excited to be doing this. This is wonderful. But I think that as time goes by and as I age, as we all do, some of it has kicked in and I have to like sit back and be like, hey, what's going on here? And, you're like, okay, I realized, okay, my body has changed. It doesn't look the way it did. And it can't look that way anymore. I can make it nicer by for today, but it's not going to be what I can't go back to my 20s. I can't. But there's nothing wrong with my 40s. So I'm trying to be like, all right, here, your 40s are great. You look amazing. Just cut yourself some slack. Be nicer to yourself. Don't be so rough on yourself. One of the exercises that my therapist has me doing is she wants me to, because I have a little bit of dysmorphia, little body dysmorphia. She wants me to look in the mirror every day and say, I love you. And it seems like such a simple thing. But for weeks after she told me to do that, I couldn't. I would look in the mirror and I could not do it. I thought this is so silly, but I couldn't do it. And then one day I just said, just fucking do it, do it. Even if you don't mean it, even if it feels weird, just do it. And the impact that it had on me, like I started crying. And I'm supposed to do it every day. I don't do it every day, but I do muster up the strength to do it more frequently.
Mhm.
And it's a process for me going through the aging process has kind of punched me a little bit. It's been a punch in the gut. I'm like, oh, all right. And I work in an industry where youth is really celebrated, and other things are not. I feel like there are more categories. There's the bear porn, there's daddy porn, there's all of that. But really, the money and the attention is on the youth, the younger, thinner looking guys. Um, and so, trying to allow myself to grow and change and age, and appreciate what that looks like has been a process. So, like I said, when I started off, I was happy go lucky. As time goes by, I'm like, oh gosh, okay, we got to figure this out. I got to deal with this, you know. But I also think that for me, um, it's also a sign of discomfort is a sign of it's time to grow, it's time to change, it's time to explore. And so I'm starting to realize that it's not necessarily my body. It's just that I'm in a place where I don't necessarily want to be anymore. It's time to move. It's time to grow. It's time to evolve. It's what's next? Where are we going now?
Mhm.
Instead of trying to force myself to fit into this box, I'm trying to open my mind to see where I could go now, you know? So that's been the struggle in a nutshell, is allowing myself to age and figuring out how just trying to figure out how to do that, really.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, thank you for sharing. That's beautiful. What a beautiful practice too. You know, to have that exercise. And yeah, it's so real and so difficult to practice that, you know, just to spend that time with our own self in such a raw and honest way, you know, of like literally looking in our own eyes and holding that own appreciation for who we are. Like um it's super interesting what can pop up in that moment. And yeah, like, you know, we might hear that and be like, oh, like that's doesn't sound too hard, or, you know, like that's it, like that's all the exercises. But no, like give it a try. And it's fascinating. And then like whatever like does pop up, like just then like getting curious about like, huh, like it's interesting that this is what I noticed, or it's interesting that this is what I felt. You know, it's interesting that I haven't been able to do this exercise. I'm the same way. Like I maybe in the span of 3 years have done that like twice. And the times that I have, I like didn't believe it. Like I just felt like I was saying words, and then I was getting mad at my own self, and so I just stopped. And so like it's it it's just interesting that like that's something I'm avoiding. And so like this is where like it gets to be so powerful, and like kind of what you're talking about, that next step of growth is like when we get curious about it, whatever we notice, like there's something to that. There's like an energetic charge um behind it. And when we allow ourselves to start exploring that, like you said, that's where the next growth space is. So I'm so proud of you. That's amazing. You're
It's
doing.
scary though.
I'm
I'm
just
not going to say it's not. It's scary. I'm not going to say that I don't hesitate and procrastinate when I know that I should be moving forward. But it's a process, and I'm again trying to allow myself the time and space to go into whatever's next for me.
Mhm. Yeah, 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 yeah. And that's why I think like, it gets so helpful to then be like, okay, like I'm here today. Like this is where I'm at today. You know, I don't have to have it all figured out right now, or to know where the next chapter is, or to know or to arrive at that resolution. You know, I can just be with my experience, whatever that looks like today, even if it feels messy or even if it feels like incomplete. Like that's my today experience, and that's okay. It's okay that
Yeah.
this is what it is.
Yeah. Talking about today, one of the things that I've really been trying to work on was not focusing on the past, not fantasizing about the future, but truly living in today, in these moments, and being grateful for what I have right now, where I am right now. We have no idea what the future looks like. We have some idea of what we would like, what we would like to manifest, what we would like to attract, but we have no idea what's going to happen. What we have is right now. And so like I'm really trying very hard to just focus on this moment, this day. Just where are you? Like what do you have to be grateful for? What are you feeling? How if I'm feeling stressed, what can I do to take that away? And if I'm feeling stressed, haven't you I asked myself, have you worked through this before? Haven't you gotten past this same situation before? The thing that's worrying you about today, how did you resolve it yesterday or the last year or the week before? What happened? I say I survived. I'm still here. I got past it somehow. So I'm like, okay, so whatever it is I'm struggling with right now, I can trust that I'm going to get through it because I've done it already. So it's like we all have to be like our own therapist in addition to getting extra help from wherever we can find it, whoever's like comes into our life who can bring us that help. But you also have to learn how to be your own specialist,
Mm,
your own therapist, how to bring yourself up, you know?
mm,
Go
mm.
read a book, read some Deepak Chopra, whatever, even if it's not a self-help book. Sometimes when I'm getting so stressed out that I feel like I don't like I just want to pull the covers back over my head and go to sleep for the rest of the day. Like I'll read a good book or try and find a good movie and get lost.
Mm.
Just completely be lost in that moment and then let it pass.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can sleep it off. Sometimes I can breathe it off. Sometimes I need a book or a movie to distract myself. Um, but let the negative pass, let the stress, the fear, the worry, the hurt, the disappointments, the anxiety, let it pass and welcome better days, better energy, better moments, better relationships. Just try and make yourself open to it all. Easier said than done. It's great when we're having these conversations with people because you're like, oh, that's it. It's so simple. But when you're trying to work through it in your day-to-day life, it feels so blocked. But when you're having a conversation with someone, when I'm doing a workshop, I'm like, the advice I'm giving these people is exactly the advice I need to listen to for me. The reason why it's in my head and I can say it so comfortably is because I need this.
Mhm.
This is for me. I'm
Mhm.
hoping it helps everybody else too, but it's for me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like how beautiful that is because it's so real, and then like you delivering it from that space, like we can't get more authentic and genuine than that. Uh,
Yeah.
and that's how we know it's so helpful is because it's your own story too. And we're all reflections of each other. And so if it's something that we need, somebody else also needs it too. We're just the translator of that experience. Yeah.
Hmm.
Wow.
And
Wow.
that's the beautiful thing to be in that space where we're, in sync,
Mhm.
where we're, needing and be sharing and just, it's almost, I don't know how to say it. It's like a synchronicity is all I can think of. We're all connected, really. And
What?
we are really all connected. If you can really accept, if you can wrap your mind around that, my God, that
Mhm.
would change just everything.
Yeah.
Just everything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And like really sink in on that. Like we're never alone. We might feel lonely, but we're never alone. Like our experiences might be unique to us, but someone else has also felt this way. Somebody else is feeling this right now. I can tap into that energy. And so I can also tap back into my own energy. I love what you said of like, have I been here before? Like, how have I gotten through this prior? And, like I ask myself something similarly, and if I'm feeling depressed or anxious, I'll compare it to like the worst that I can think of the time that I felt that. Um, Not to like downplay how I'm feeling now, but just to help myself remember, like I've gotten through so much shit that I can get through this too. Like I have the skills somewhere within me. Yeah, I might need some time to pull those skills out or some time to feel the crap of what's here, but it's going to pass because it has passed before. And like what a gift of just knowing that, and that's so relieving on its own right.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, it's great to have friends, people that you can talk to, coaches, therapists, because sometimes you just need a reminder. Sometimes it's common sense, but at the moment it's not common to you. You're struggling and you can't see it. But it can be something very simple. If someone else who's just slightly out of the situation can point out to you, and then you're like, oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. I could do this, and that changes everything. Like, look at that.
Yeah, yeah. Like just hearing it and like I know it sounds kind of cheesy, but literally just getting it out of our own system. It's like,
Hmm.
oh, I can let go of this. And
Hmm.
and that's what I needed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh God, this is so good. So good. I Something else I wanted to ask you is that like from one like content creator to the next, like I'm genuinely like really curious. I think it's really helpful for people to hear, but also like for me personally. So selfishly I'm asking this, but um how how have you learned to navigate the the different sides of yourself? So like the persona side versus like who you are as a person, especially like within a sexual context. So let me give you an example of like so like when I create like content for other people, like even though it's sexual, it's so fucking different from who Kevin is on my own and like camera off, who I am with my partner. But sometimes like because it's so similar, like similar actions, similar energy. Like it's so tough to kind of pull those apart. Um, I don't know. Does that make sense? Like how have you learned or how have you helped to kind of protect, especially like the personal bubble, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yes, I think I understand. I think I understand. And on one hand, it's something that comes very naturally and easily to me. When a camera comes on, when I have an audience, when I'm given a script, um, something clicks, and I'm him. I'm him. And likewise, once I'm done being him, I go back to being me. It's almost effortless.
Mm.
It's effortless, but and I don't but that's just me. I understand, but I think the reason why it's effortless again for me is because they're both me, and I had to realize that. At first, I thought Dillon was this crazy man. You've given yourself permission to do this under a different name, but it's just you. And
Mm.
so now I'm realizing it's just me. So again, when you're presenting to an audience, you want to project, and you want to sound sexy or cool or smart or whatever. And in real life, you just kind of don't really worry about that so much.
Mm.
You just kind of whatever happens, happens. You throw your hands up. Yeah, this is what you get today. This is who I am right now. But over time, I can give that to my performances as well. Sometimes, like it depends. I can just go into that place of like, hey, this is what it is today. I'm not going to force myself to be sexy. Either I am or I'm not. Sometimes I can get away with doing that, not all the time. Sometimes, I have to. I know I might not be feeling sexy, but I got to find it.
Yeah.
I got to find it. Come on. But yeah, it's I've never allowed myself to get a big head to become an egomaniac about it. Like, a couple of people know my name. Great. If they say hi, I'll say hi back. Like, but I'm not like, oh, I'm Dillon Diaz. It's like that doesn't, I don't know, that doesn't resonate with me.
Mm.
Oftentimes I'm like, wait, huh?
Yeah.
You know my name?
How
How
can
do you
it
know
be?
my name?
Yeah.
Then I was like, oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, I got it. I remember.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. So kind of finding the both and of like these are simultaneously all sides of ourself and we can also tap into different parts at different points in time.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. as needed. Yeah. But there is a thing. So after a shoot, there are times when I'm like, all right, I need to wind down. That was exciting. That was fun. That was whatever it was. But it's time to go home, and I need to wind down. And the way I do that is I'm usually driving, so I have this time alone in my car where I listen to um, music that I like, songs that I like, things that bring me happiness or peace or a nostalgia to come back into my own body and be like, okay, let it go, and just it's here you are, just you again. The camera's gone, the director's gone, your co-star's gone, your scene partner's gone. It's just you now. And then sometimes I'm also very food driven. So, something, oftentimes a piece of chocolate, a chocolate cake, or just a nice meal that also helps me feel grounded again. You know, my aftercare is usually music and food. I would say that music and food.
I love that. I love it. Yeah, like finding a ritual for you that helps with the transition. And like I think what's really cool to think about is that we are always transitioning from one side of ourselves to another, whether it's yeah, from seeing back home, but then back home to bedtime, but then bedtime to waking up, and then waking up to the gym, and then going to the store. Like every part of our day is another transition that requires a different part of us. And like when we can buffer those transitions with some sort of a symbol or routine or ritual just to help shift that slight perspective that we will hold differently, like gets to be so powerful. I love that you say driving. Like that's one for me too, is like I literally think of like when I'm in the car, it's like, okay, I'm switching my hats. So, I'm here at the office now. And so like I'm in, work mode. But then when I go home, like I'm just taking that hat off. I feel like this one's like a cowboy hat, and then I'm putting on like my backwards cap once I get home. Uh, and it's still me.
I
But
love
it's
that.
just a different part. And then when I get ready for bed, it'd be like my little like nightcap or like whatever that. But like, uh, yeah, like having those tools to assist with that transition. Whether it's music's one of my big ones too. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, or a chocolate or a candy, whatever that is, like that just helps to smooth out that transition. It gets to be really really helpful there too. And it's a good moment of grounding and like checking back in with ourselves, like, okay, like as I step into this next part of my day, this is what's this is the energy that is required of me, or this is what I need to bring. Like, um, yeah, it just becomes very intentional, which is
Mhm.
amazing.
Yeah. Intention. Intention's a very big word. It's a very big word that um, when you can master it, I don't want to use the word master, but when you can manipulate it, it's so powerful
Mhm.
because it's everything is intention. Everything comes back to intention. You can shape. It's easier in my mind to kind of get there, to kind of fall back into that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Dylan, thank you so much. This has been amazing. Absolutely amazing.
I've had a great time. I'm so looking forward to getting to spend some time with you in person, hopefully getting to make a collab and make some beautiful footage for people to enjoy and feel empowered by, you know?
I'm so excited too. I just keep thinking like, yeah, I'm excited for our retreat, but yeah, to just collaborate together and just like the the good that will come just to connect with you yourself,
Yeah.
but also like
Your energy. I sent you a text the other day and I said that your energy is whatever I said. It's effervescent, it's infectious, it's addictive. And I believe that. I'm not just like trying to flatter you. Like I really feel that way about you, and I don't know how we came to be in each other's paths. But I'm like, oh yeah, like grabbing on, trying to pull you closer, and we look so far apart from each other.
Mm.
So the fact that we're both working on this retreat together was like, oh my gosh, the universe, it works.
Yeah, it really does. No, I feel the same way. I just adore you, and like you just make me feel so like grateful doesn't even begin to describe it, but just like whole. And like I like it's just you just inspire me on so many levels, and you're so grounding, and like you're just absolutely incredible. And I'm so grateful and thankful to be in your orbit, in your world, and to only be getting closer to you.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, yeah. Anything that you want to leave anybody with, if they can find you anywhere, or anything you want to share, plug, anything like that?
Um, you can find me on my social media. It's Dillon Diaz at Twitter. I'm also on Instagram. Um, you can find me there on either one of those platforms, basically. Um, I am evolving. I'm evolving. I'll go ahead. I'm evolving from Dylan Diaz back to the name that I was given when I was born. I'm reconnecting with that person and with that identity. Um, and so maybe soon I'll be able to introduce myself to the world as that, under that name. But right now, Dylan Diaz is where you can find me. And one day you might know me as something else.
I love that. I love it. I'm so excited for you just to see how that journey goes, and how the integration of and the reconnection with yourself goes too. It'll be really, really powerful to see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, this life is an incredible journey. Incredible journey.
Mhm.
Just the ups, the downs, and trying to navigate that space. And when you're able to successfully navigate that space, how empowering that feels.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we get to do it together with incredible people like
Yes.
yourself along the way.
We bring people into our orbit that are helping us get to where it is that we need to go. I firmly believe that. So that's part of why I'm so grateful for you because I see how bright of a light you are. And I was like, if I was able to bring this person into my life, my God, where am I going? Because this, wow. I'm on my way to someplace spectacular.
That's how I feel too. And I'm so glad we get to hold hands through it and just to march along into whatever is coming next.
No.
Yeah.
I tell you all the time, I wish we could go do brunch. I wish we lived closer to each other because sometimes I just want to have a mimosa. I don't know if you drink. I want to have a mimosa with you.
Yeah, yeah, I know. One of the things I want to do more is I just wanted to travel more, and so we will make it happen before the retreat. Yes, I will. We'll go get mimosas. We'll have coffee. It'll be so good.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
looking forward to it.
me too. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I adore
Thank
you
you for
so
taking this
much.
time.
Yeah, absolutely.